Welcome to Honest Whispers unboxing, inspection, and review of DC Universe movie Justice Society World War II limited edition gift set, Best Buy exclusive, The Flash figure. Released by Warner Brothers on May 11th, 2021. This figure is approximately 4 inches tall. And it is limited edition number 4062 out of 8000. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this for the first time ever. Usually, as you can see, it is factory sealed with shrink wrap. I don't want to damage the box or anything like that, so usually go with a little side right here. So what I would do is I would give it a little pinch so I'm not touching the box, and as I pull it, I'll go ahead and give it a little stab away from the box, and then if I can, I would just try to make a little slit going outwards, although this one's kind of tough. And then from here, usually that slit tends to continue cutting. This one's quite tough. Again, I don't want to bounce the box, like, end up lifting this and then it drops and then like a corner dents. This box is really delicate and kind of fragile, so it can dent pretty easily. So it's really hard to find a box in good shape after they put it up on display or up on the shelves. So here you go. So finally I got a slit where now when I could just keep pulling and open it. And even though this part fell off, I have an opening that's big enough to fit both my fingers or both my thumbs in between and just tear it apart. So now I got the slit that I'm looking for, where this just tends to open easily from there. Again, I don't want to pull too hard at this corner right here. Don't want like like a flap or something like that to bend backwards. So once I have that cleared, I'm just going to slide the rest out without squeezing the box so that I don't dent it. Now, I did ask for someone that was helping me out at Best Buy's to get me the best box available, because they didn't have it up on the shelves at the time when I went in to buy it. So this one, it actually has a small dent. The first one he showed me had this pretty big dent right here in the front. So I basically asked him if he could go back and then because it was in the back room. So I asked him if he could just go back and bring me like a couple different ones that were like the best condition available. So he brought me out 2 more. Both of them kind of had a small crease and dent. One of them had a small dent and crease right here in the front bottom area. This one actually has a small crease right here. If I could get the reflection, there it is. So this was better one, and he said all the other ones had the same dent as the first one. So not too bad. Other than that, I couldn't see it from the shrink wrap, but right here, if I could get that lighting right there at the edge. I don't see anything on the side. Don't see anything in the front. So great condition box overall. As I said, this one's really hard to find, the best conditions in. This one has a little indented line right there at the top. Okay. And then I thought I saw a flap of a crease on the edge of one of the flaps. Like right there where my thumb is. I don't want to touch it. But pretty minor. At least because it was shrink wrap, it doesn't have the round sticker like the old ones used to have. And I would like to open this without making a crease right here in the inside. So, but unfortunately, the tab is tucked under the little slits. So I don't know if I could do this from this angle. I want to see if I could flatten the top and then try to pull it out. Or at least maybe if I could flatten it and then get it untucked. Yeah, that's hard to do. Yep, the moment I hate is always this part. It just won't open without making a crease. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to slide my thumb up here, pull it out. Looks like, and looking at here, looks like this outer box, they tucked it into the sleeve of the DVD case, which is stupid because now there's a good chance that part, the DVD case or the sleeve, is damaged. So I'm gonna stick my thumb in here and try to pull it out. I will cause the crease on that edge, but I want to try to avoid the crease on this top surface area. So let me get a good grip. Let me see if I could grip it. And yeah, well, there it is. Already got the crease right there going. Let me just make sure I don't, yeah, there you go. So this is what I wanted to avoid. Hard to avoid it, but at least no crease on the top. So when the box is closed, it won't look like it won't have any damage. It won't look like it won't I mean, it's creased, but it'll be hidden. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm very happy that, because this was tucked in between the DVD case and then the DVD sleeve. So I'm just glad the DVD case and sleeve is not damaged. Another bad thing about this, which I forgot, the new ones have the little top, I guess, like it's like a secure, I mean, it doesn't protect, but it secures the figure inside there. So I should have opened from the bottom. Now I guess when I take out the movie, I could always use the top. Oh, this is so hard to close. No wonder they had it inside the sleeve. Okay, this one looks like I have to stand it up. Maybe it'll be easier that way. Yeah, I don't want the edge to all get scuffed up. That sucks. But anyway, as I mentioned, at least no crease on the top surface. But now I gotta do the same thing again. So hoping I could find a way to maybe untuck the little tab over here. You know, I had one box that wasn't tucked in all the way. But then by doing this, I don't want to create indented lines with my nails. Looks like I have no choice. And I have to go ahead and just slide this out. Yeah, it's just inevitable. So again, it created that crease right there. So if someone tries to sell you something that they claim it's never been opened, at least if you look at that crease, you'll know it's been opened before. So here's the movie. Let me slide out the little figure. So there's the figure. I'll leave the box out on the side here. Okay, the movie, or the sleeve, the case, looks exactly like the outer box, the front image. Of course, now there's no window, so you could see the rest of the picture. And then, of course, I shouldn't have closed it, but yeah, same picture, same words, same everything, other than this little digital movie code bar right there. So let me put this away. And here it is, the action figure that's exclusively comes with the Best Buy gift set. First big notice I'm seeing, no points of articulation. It is kind of in a book, so I'm happy it's not taped up. So it's like a little cover. Not actually a book, but more like a shell case. You get the bottom and the top. So comes with the permanently attached or fixed base. Nothing fancy. Feels like soft plastic. As you can see, it's kind of warped or bent. Let me see if he has any. No stability issues, but then you could see how it's not perfectly flat. So right here, it's like kind of does that. So anyway, of course, I don't want to damage this figure. But as I was saying, no points of articulations, no neck, no legs, no arms. And I like this so much better because you don't get those seam lines that kind of detach the body parts a little bit. And even if he had points of articulations, just raising his arms like forward really isn't that great of a pose. He'll just look like a zombie. So I like how his head is slightly tilted to the right. So yeah, so start, to review this with 6 categories. Design, I think the design's pretty good. Looks a lot better out of the box than in the box. Proportions, the look, and even looking at the flash from the cover, because I haven't seen the movie yet. I mean, it looks pretty accurate with how he looks. So yeah, I don't see any reason to give it any hits on the point or score. So I give the design score a perfect 10 out of 10. Here, let me put this down and give you some camera movement or camera action. So next category is sculpting, and covers the details, overall quality of the sculpt. And you could see how, everything's pretty much, pretty nice, very smooth. If I look at it really closely, maybe certain areas not that smooth, but costume, muscle definition, everything's sculpted pretty well. Now you could see some quality issues right there, little bumps. Almost looks like he has what is that? Looks like almost looks like he has snot or something, or he has a cut upper lip. Not bad details on the, I guess it's supposed to be lightnings, right? Lightnings on his ears, but it just looks kind of melted a bit. Almost looks more like a leaf than a lightning. Or wings. That kind of right there, it looks kind of like a lightning. It looks more like feathers. Of course, you could see some of those, the seam line from the molds on his head, going down his shoulder and arm. Gotta look at it very closely. Even right there at the back of his head. His back seems, I don't know, maybe too muscular. It's like, does he have, his abs are on his back. Looks like ab muscle. That is really buff. Yeah, his abs look good. I guess his, butt seems okay, I guess. His thighs right there, it just looks a bit melted right there, thigh muscles. That one's pretty bad. And then the boots, looks okay. I mean, some lines, not as defined. You can see like right here, the right boot, very, deep and defined lines. And then here on the left boot, it's, really hard to even, make out that line right there. Compared to right here, where it's pretty, pretty well defined. At least the shape, you could tell what the shape it's supposed to be. This one, part of it looks like it's melted off, and of course there are some paint issues. But overall, pretty good. I mean, it is a 4-inch sculpt, although I have seen really nice quality on small scale figures like this. So with the sculpting, initially I was going to give it a 9, but I would give the sculpting score an 8 on this figure. Next category is colors, accuracy and quality of the color, paint, and the application. So colors look okay, but I don't know. I mean, it's accurate, but at the same time, the tone seems a bit dark or faded. I mean, again, looking at this, usually with the flash, I'm used to more like a kind of like a bright red, or more of a red. This is like I don't know, it's like a dark I don't know, it's like a tomato red, kind of like a dark tomato red. I don't know, it's really hard to, I could even say maybe like ketchup color, kind of slightly old ketchup color. And then the yellow, which is supposed to be gold, looks, I don't know, looks very bronzish, like a bronze, kind of has that orange tone to it. So I wish, color wise, it was, I mean, it's supposed to be accurate, and their intentions are accurate, even with the little flash insignia. But paint quality, not that great. Paint application, not the best either. I feel like his eyes are a bit, I don't know, it looks kind of like googly-eyed a little bit. Maybe it's the shape of the head that makes it like that, but it looks a little bit like chameleon eyes. And again, not, sharp, defined lines, but then still, it's not bad overall. Because you see a lot of these bleeding, like right there. I mean, you could see the gold bleeding right there on the chest. Okay, you could see some of his skin color. Looks like it's bleeding on the edge of his mask. Okay, right here, like that tip, or even right there on, I mean, the line looks a little bit, as I said, it's not like well-defined lines there. It's kind of fades in and out almost. Definitely a lot of bleeding right there at the corner or tip. Some bleeding here on the arms, especially on the back. Almost completely red right here. Here on the back. So as I said, the gold doesn't really have, I mean, it almost blends with this faded red look. And of course, you might have noticed here when I was showing the close-up of the sculpting department, but here you could see a lot of the red bleeding onto that tip. So yeah, I figure, I mean he has such a simple design too, but as you can see from afar, paint job's not that bad. From really up close, it's, you know, quality, could use some work. So I give the color score an above average 7 out of 10. Next category is packaging. Covers the design and functionality. Simple DVD box, but I do like the consistency with all the other DC Universe movies, especially the prior release ones to now. Same little window box, especially for the Best Buy exclusive ones. Same, I mean, they improved it from Wonder Woman Bloodlines, at least from I remember, where they made that little cut and fold of the inside part of the box so that the figure doesn't slide up and down. And then nice little, you know, shell case where you have a top cover for the or top and bottom halves, so keeps the figure nice and safe within the box, and it doesn't, again, it doesn't slide in and out. Prior boxes, if it came unloose, it would be like, you know, just rattling inside, sliding up and down. My only flaw, or you know, my only complaint, and or at least a flaw that I would point out, would be that the box is pretty flimsy. I mean, it's very delicate and thin, so it's very easy to you know, make a crease or dent. As you can see, you know, when I was opening both, you know, top and bottom, it's like you know, you can't open it without actually causing some creases. So that's really hard to take care of sometimes. So, and also to really find the perfect, you know, condition box. But other than that, you know, looks great, great design, everything's good. And again, love the consistency with the other boxes. So I give the packaging score a near perfect 9 out of 10. Next category is value. Covers the suggested retail price versus the quality, or suggested retail price versus the aftermarket price, or does it have aftermarket price potential. And this one just came out a few days ago from making this video, and yeah, it's too new to tell, you know, how much aftermarket price potential this figure is gonna have, or at least the gift box set with the, you know, the 4K Ultra HD and then Blu-ray digital code expires, so that's not gonna matter. From my experience and from the recent past Best Buy exclusive limited edition gift sets, they didn't sell out that fast. I remember a couple of them not selling out. Even Wonder Woman Bloodlines took a long time for the exclusive figure set to sell out. And even the Death of Superman, when I was looking at the prices after, a few years after, maybe a couple years after it was released, the price of the gift set hasn't really gone up. So, and even a lot of the figures are being sold separately at about maybe like an average of $5, maybe a little over, especially since you're paying shipping and everything. So too early to tell whether if this one in particular will have, will go up in value or have a high demand. But at the same time, it's better than buying in the 4K Ultra DVD without a figure. So it's almost like a free figure in itself. So I give the value score due to a lot of the uncertainties an average 5 out of 10. Next final category is overall. Accumulates the 5 prior categories: design, sculpting, colors, packaging, and value. And this one, I do like it a lot. Flash isn't like one of my favorite characters, but definitely one of my favorite Justice Leaguers, and one of my, definitely a character I really like. And I think the figure looks really good too. I mean, definitely comparing to one of the first ones, at least by recollection, or by memory. So definitely looks nice overall. I do remember the Flash figure from the Flashpoint DVD, I believe, but of course looks a little different, and again, no points of articulations, so I like that a lot. So overall, I give it a very high 8 out of 10. So to recap: design, 10 out of 10. Sculpting, 8 out of 10. Colors, 7 out of 10. Packaging, 9 out of 10. Value, 5 out of 10. And overall, 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Until next time, continue reading the King James Version Bible and eat your vitamin C's daily.